Hey, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Evan. This is my channel, and let's go ahead and get on in to the topic today. Today's video is actually about 75 hard. What is it? And it's kind of geared towards people who are curious about it or curious to know what it is actually. So stay tuned and watch till the end so I can give you some advice for going through the process as I have completed it. So let's go ahead and get on into it. 75 hard. What is it? What is this challenge that people talk about or that I've heard on the internet? It is a mental toughness program geared to help you, develop more mental toughness, some self-discipline, confidence, fortitude, grit, and the likes of that. It was created by Andy Frisella, the founder and CEO of First Form. It was just developed to, sharpen your mental toughness, your grit factor. And though there are some physical tasks that has to be done, it was more geared towards a fitness program or a mental toughness program rather than a fitness challenge. So let's go ahead and get on into what this entails. So what do you do on 75 hard? What is this program? What does it consist of? Well, for 75 days, what you're going to do is that you're going to be following a group of tasks, and you're going to have to complete every single one of these tasks every day for 75 days. What are these tasks, you may ask? Well, let's go ahead and get into it. The first one is follow a diet and stick to it. Pick a diet. So what I think of as a diet is making sure that it is something that's going to be sustainable for you for the rest of your life. I don't see why it makes any sense to me that anyone would pick a short-term diet for this program, because I feel like this program is meant to change your life for the better, or at least give you a little kickstart into having some good habits that you can carry out through the rest of your life. So for me, it doesn't make sense to be on a keto diet if I know that I'm not going to be on a keto diet after this 75 hard. Granted, it's up to you. This is open for any individual. So for me personally, it doesn't make sense, but for you, it may make sense. But coming from a nutrition coach, I would say keto only works in the short term. I don't think it is very beneficial for the long term. That's just my opinion. Anyways, choose a diet and stick to it. Choose something. My advice is to choose something that you're gonna actually want to stick to and that actually makes sense for your lifestyle. And task number 2 is no cheat meals and no alcohol. With this is where I feel like people will say, oh, it's too restrictive, and you know what, it is a little restrictive, and I think that's the point. And I think it works for 2 reasons. One, I think that a lot of us tend to overindulge with these cheat meals, or what you consider a cheat meal, as well as overconsumption of alcohol. Granted, hey, listen, I love myself a nice good old brewski a couple of evenings out of the week. Most definitely. I like myself a whiskey with a cigar every once in a while as well, but it's not something that you should be having every single day. Now, definitely on the occasion, definitely indulge a little bit. But I think the whole entire point of this task is that we tend to overindulge, so cutting back and just not having it in your system for a while is going to work wonders, as well as some of the stuff that tends to slow us down, tends to give us a little bit of a brain fog. It's cutting some of that out so that we can actually sharpen our minds a little bit, as well as start to feel better physically. Now, the third task, so we just cut out the alcohol and having the overindulging of the cheat meals. Now what we're going to do is that we're actually going to drink a gallon of water every single day. This is something I used to do. I learned my lesson quite early on in high school, where I didn't drink a lot of water. I actually drank a lot of energy drinks and soda, and I played football. And playing football in Southern California in the summertime, or like the pre-season, which is August, September, which are like the hottest months in Southern California, I was playing both offense, defense, and special teams at the hottest point in the day, or just about. And so I would overheat a lot, and I would get severely dehydrated to the point where I had to be taken out of games because it was getting dangerous. So I learned quite early on that it's like, hey, Evan, you need to drink more water because you could die. And I just that habit kind of stuck with me as far as always drinking water or trying to get at least a gallon of water in every single day. I gotta say, it was a task that I did fall off on within the last year or so. But with this task having it being mandatory, it's helped me kind of reestablish that habit for myself. But it's great. It's always great to stay hydrated. Our bodies need water, and we just function better when we are sufficiently hydrated. And it is going to be important that you get this gallon of water in every day during this 75 hard. Task number 4. Task number 4 is to exercise twice a day for 45 minutes at a minimum for each, and one of those workouts has to be outdoors. Now this is how, like, it's not a fitness challenge, but there is the physical aspects of this program that is involved, and the reason being is that you work better when you move more. Movement is medicine. We tend to feel better when we are physically active. We do release endorphins when we exercise, so we do tend to feel better when we do exert ourselves physically. Now, the 2 exercises a day, granted, this is called 75 hard for a reason. It is they're not meant to be. It's not meant to be the most convenient, because you can't just do one exercise indoors and then go immediately for an outdoor run after. They do have to be separated by like a few hours, I believe. And this is not supposed to be convenient. It's not supposed to be easy, hence the name 75 hard. So with that being said, now you don't have to go super crazy and do like, intense crazy mile or like 10-mile run and then go and then lift crazy amounts of weights in the other workout. It doesn't, like, you don't have to do it that way, and that's not how I did it. Like, even a walk outside in the neighborhood for at least 45 minutes does count as the exercise for the day. For example, I did one workout in the morning at an outdoor gym here in Southern California, and then the next workout I did either was a recumbent bike that I have in my apartment, or I would go on a walk in the evening with my family, have a great bonding time with my family. Oh, and another reason why that one has to be outdoors is that regardless of the weather, it could be scalding hot, freezing cold, raining, regardless, like rain or shine, you have to get the workouts done. Like, even when it's hard, even when it's the conditions aren't perfect, you have to get it done, and you still need to get to your task, which is part of the program and part of the mental toughness and that grit factor. Regardless of what happens, I'm going to get it done. So that is another part of the reason why that is in there. So the next task is reading 10 pages of a nonfiction book every day. So I guess like no books like Harry Potter or 1984 or the Sword of Truth series that I have read a long time ago, or Percy Jackson, whatever tickles your fancy as far as like those fiction books. You should read them. They're fun to read, and like it's great to keep your mind creative. But for this challenge, those books do not count as far as getting your 10 pages in every single day. What books do work in this program are self-development books, business books, personal growth books, anything that is geared towards you and your self-growth, whether that be your personal, relationship, fitness, or business. This wasn't necessarily a hard task for me, but it was a task that I appreciated because I got back into a habit of just reading every day. I think it's just a good habit to have. And so for some people, it might be a little tougher because they aren't readers, or they just tend to not like reading. Like, once you get into a habit of it, it becomes something that you actually enjoy. And again, that's another task. I think task 5, maybe. I don't know. I'll make edits if I need to. Now, the final task of 75 hard that you have to do every single day is taking a progress picture. Now, again, I just did mirror selfie in the morning, and got it done out of the way. Now, the reason why this task is in this program is to, one, not only show you your progress that you're going to be making throughout this program from day to day to day. Sometimes it's actually helpful to take progress pictures every day, because some days you may not feel like you're making any progress, but then you take that picture that you made that day, and then you take or see the picture that you took on day one and notice that there's actually a humongous difference. Because again, like from day to day, when we see ourselves in the mirror, we may not notice the changes that are actually happening as far as the physical, but it's just you can actually see from, again, that's why it's good to take progress pictures anyway, is just to see the progress that you've made from where you started. And it shows you where you're at right now, and shows you where you've been, and then shows you kind of like if you continue to go or continue on the path of seeing where you might actually go. Now, another reason why he put this in the program, like it's such an easy task, right? It's like it's not that hard. You just go to the bathroom or to a mirror, like take a selfie, and then you're done, right? But granted, sometimes the most easy or small task can be overlooked. And then if, again, any of these tasks, I didn't say this before, but any of these tasks, if you mess up on any of these tasks or you don't complete any of these tasks, no matter where you're at in the program, messing up, you have to start from day one. So you could be on day 57, you've made a lot of progress, you're almost there, you're like about 2/3 of the way done, but if you didn't drink enough water, or if you didn't take your selfie or like your progress picture, well, you have to start from day one. The reason being is that it's like, well, you can't overlook anything. You have to make sure that every task is done, and if it's not, you have to start over. And I think it kind of goes along with a lot of things that happen in life, where it's like you need to make sure that you're not overlooking the little things. And something like the progress picture is one of those little things where it's easy and simple, but sometimes can be overlooked. Those are the tasks that you have to do, all of those every single day for 75 days. No excuses, no compromises, got to get it done. Now, some questions that kind of arise with this program is like, well, 75 days of working out straight, aren't you going to overtrain? Aren't you going to overdo it on the exercise? No. Pick the workouts that are going to work best for what your physical goals are. So for me, I wanted to make sure that I kept my strength, but I was also wanting to lose weight because I already completed some goals that I've already accomplished earlier on in the year. I already am lifting heavy, and I wanted to continue to strength train, but I didn't want to lose too much strength. So what I did was I would just go on walks, and then sometimes I would go on the bike just to work on my cardio. But yeah, I would make sure that my second workout was low impact, like walking, which is highly underrated in my opinion as far as a form of exercise that people should be doing, because it's low impact, you could do it daily, and it's very easy, and it doesn't cost you anything. You could just go outside and go for a walk. Utilize walking, because that's actually a great form of exercise, especially when you are, especially on your days off from the gym. Going on walks are just great, not only for you physically, but they're a great mental break as well. You can go on a walk and just kind of clear your mind. Just because you have to do 2 exercises a day doesn't necessarily mean you have to like go super crazy every single workout every single time. As long as you get the workouts that you need to get done, that's the point of the workout. Now, another thing of advice that I would highly suggest you do if you are going to do this program, granted, I already told you as far as like picking a diet, you can stick to, or like something that's more realistic for the rest of your life, as well as making sure that you get to as many tasks as you can as early as you can. I started some of these tasks later on in the day, and so I would have to stay up later getting these tasks done, and then it would kind of mess up my sleep a little bit, and again, it'd just make things a little tougher and make you a little bit more worn out at times. So some things that I suggest getting to early. First thing in the morning, take a progress picture. That, like, it's the easiest thing to do, and again, it can be overlooked. So if you get to it earlier on the day, just take a picture first thing in the morning, so that again it's out of the way and you don't have to worry about it, and then it becomes a habit that you just do it every single morning. Second thing is to make sure that you drink as much water as you can earlier on in the day rather than later on in the day. There were a couple of times where I still had a half a gallon to drink, and it was like 6:30 p.m. and I was trying to go to bed at 9, trying to drink that gallon within that time frame. I had to get up like throughout the night constantly because I had to go and take a piss. So that is or even like later, and just trying to drink as much water as I possibly can, and it wasn't fun. It was not fun, and I do not recommend that. So drink as much water as you can earlier on in the day. What else? Oh yeah, the reading. One thing you don't want to do is that you don't want to read later in the evening. At least, again, in my case, it wasn't working for me as well as if I just started earlier on in the day. Because when I would just kind of start to doze off when I was reading later on in the night, and sometimes that would be the hardest task for me, just because I just pushed it off to the very end, and I wasn't able to retain as much information as I would if I just read it earlier on in the day. Make sure that you get to those tasks, especially earlier on in the day. It's going to help you out a lot more, and it's going to help you get into a little bit of a better flow state. Yeah, and you're just gonna feel better once like you check off more things, have a little bit more of that confidence, like, okay, yeah, I got these tasks done, and I said I was gonna get them done, and they're getting done. Yeah, I just say, like, with most of these tasks, just start earlier on in the day, because it'll make it a lot more doable. It'll be like, again, like, do it where you can. Now obviously it's like you got to make it work within your schedule as well, because you still have to live life while doing this program, by the way. You still have to go to events that you need to go to. You just have to make it work within the program. The first week that I was doing this program was my best friend's wedding down in Temecula, and so that was a big test for me. And if I can get through that wedding weekend, that kind of set the tone for the rest of the program, saying, okay, that was really tough and I got through it, so I can do this on a day-to-day. And that's part of this program. It's supposed to challenge you when things aren't, like, conditions aren't right? So again, going to a best friend's wedding and everything, and going and like where there's going to be drinks, where there's going to be cakes and sweets and everything, that's going to be difficult. But like, how are you going to fare within that situation? And so that's kind of the point of the program, is to challenge you and to help you grow. Basically, you're intentionally putting yourself into difficult situations so that you could come out better for it. And that's the whole entire point of this program. Another thing that I would suggest and advise is that, why do you want to start this? Figuring out and making it as clear as possible why that you want to start this, because you want to be falling back on why you want to complete it, and then having also accountability as well, having a friend that can hold you accountable, and that you could talk to say, hey, I'm going to be doing this, and having them check in on you every once in a while. I had that. For me, that was my girlfriend. She was such a phenomenal support, and it really did help me out throughout this. So babe, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. But anyways, that is the 75 hard challenge. That's the advice that I have to give. Am I going to continue 75 hard or go into phase 1 of the Live Hard program? Right now, no. It was definitely something where I took a lot out of it, and I'm going to continue doing a lot of these things. Being 10 days removed from 75 hard, I'm still doing most of the things. I'm still reading 10 pages every day. I'm getting movement in. I'm adjusting the movement task from 2 workouts every single day to getting 10K steps every single day, just increasing my movement overall and making sure that I'm being active even on the days that I don't work out. Oh yeah, and I'm still drinking a gallon of water every single day. So anyways, guys, that is it for today. That is the advice that I have to give. Hopefully that helped you guys out with figuring out whether you want to do this or not. Again, I think that if you want to test your mental toughness or you want to grow your mental toughness and your grit, I definitely think that this is not a bad program to consider. Again, it doesn't have to be nearly as restrictive as some people have it out to be. But that being said, it is a little restrictive intentionally for a short period of time, just so that we can establish some habits. Anyways, that is it for today, guys. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this was an entertaining video, as some sort of giving you some information that you can use as far as going forward if you do decide to do 75 hard. And let me know if you're thinking about doing it. Comment down below and let me know what you think, if whether you want to do it or not. And then even if you do it, or if you have done it before, let me know. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right, peace.